Brown. So we had a very interesting show yesterday, and one of the folks that commented on the show made a statement. Now, Sean G., I want you to play Miss Brandy's statement that she made on the show yesterday, because Nina Brown got a DM from a man who was like, hold up now. Hold up, and I just want to, I want y'all to hear this. So listen to what Brandy said. Take a listen.
Stop doing wifey material when you only the girlfriend.
Come on, sis.
Stop doing wifey material when you're only the girlfriend. Play it one more time, Sean, for the people in the back.
Stop doing wifey material when you only the girlfriend.
Come on, sis.
And Nina Brown co-signing in the back. Woo! Come on, sis. So what happened in your DM, Nina Brown?
So I got a DM from a guy that I told him I would not give his name, but he said, you must be a wife before you become a wife. I said, wait a minute. Explain your rationale. He said, some say stop being a wife when you're a girlfriend, but how can you expect a man to marry a girlfriend and then she just magically turn into a wife? No. You marry the lady based on what she knows, not the potential of her being a wife. It's like a career. You're not hired based on your potential. You're hired based on your qualifications. Okay. And let me just say this. I agree to an extent. Okay? Before words get twisted and the goalpost gets moved, because y'all know how Frank Ski does. But there are limitations.
I get thrown under the bus. I ain't even say that yet. I ain't even say that.
There are limitations and boundaries to this, okay? You can see what a woman brings to the table without taking advantage of her kindness. Like if you want to see how a woman carries herself, perfect example, if you want to see if a woman is clean and keeps a clean house, she ain't got to come clean your house. Go to her house. If she keeps her house clean, you can expect as a wife she's going to keep a clean house. If you want to see how she moves in the streets or handles her business, watch how she handles her own personal business, and then you can understand how she's going to handle your business as your wife.
I don't necessarily agree.
Yeah, come on. There's two type of men and two type of women in the world. Let's just be real. Frank Ski, you're one type, and then we have some Bamas who are another type. A good guy take advantage of a woman's kindness. People, and it's not common sense. People told me, it's common sense. It's not. That's why we have the society we live in. That's why the divorce rate is what it is. That's why single parent homes are what they are. It's not obvious. It's not common sense. People will take advantage. Yes, we want to show you who we are, but I believe you can do that without bending over backwards and making sacrifices that are not going to be reciprocated. Yeah, reciprocated. Like if I do for you and you do for me, great. We're not keeping track. But there are relationships where people always take. And just like the old adage goes, why buy the milk? Why buy the cow if you get the milk for free? Let's not act like it doesn't happen. It does happen every single day.
But I think part of the reason why some of that happens is because that's a person's nature, and that's what you need to know. Some women, they express their love for somebody by cooking for them. So Would you tell her, don't cook so much, sis, because he's taking advantage of you? But if that's what she does?
Yeah, no, I would say, sis, great. You cook for him. What does he do for you in return? Because when you're courting or you're dating someone, you're both trying to figure out who the other person is, so you know if that person is right to marry. So he needs to be showing you who he is as a man, just as much as you should be showing him who you are as a woman. It needs to go both ways, especially in the courtship. You're on an interview. It's an interview process, right? To see if you want to hire them for the job being a husband or a wife. It has to be mutual. And with women, we're considered the domesticated ones in a lot of men's minds. And it's automatically assumed that we're going to keep your house clean. We're going to cook for you. We're going to take care of you. And then whereas we don't get to see what kind of man you are domestically, because it's assumed like, that's what a woman is supposed to do. It's 2021, bruh. Get to them dishes, get in that kitchen, cook me a meal, and do all the other things you're supposed to do. It can go both ways.
I don't agree. Every guy in the studio's eyes just open up when you say, get to the kitchen, cook me a meal.
It's ludicrous. That's ludicrous that's your response. It's ludicrous.
No, I'm just saying that's not what some people are used to. That's all. I mean, at the end of the day, I believe a guy wants to find a woman who kind of like, the person they respect most in their life is their mama. So the only guidebook that they have to what a good woman is going to be their mama. And if their mama was a nurturing, cook for them every day, cleaned up their room or whatever, they're going to expect their wife to do that for them. I'm just saying what the expectation is. If that's not her character, then that's okay. Then maybe they're not suitable for each other. But there are some women out there that want to take care of their man. You can't say that they're bad because that's what they want to do.
I'm one of those women. I'm one of those women who want to take care of my man. Absolutely. But I'm not going to bend over backwards and do for you, or you're going to take from me while you're not doing, it's not equally beneficial. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not. Like, so that's my point is I'm one of those women you're talking to. I love to take care of my man, but I'm not going to just be out here looking like Boo-Boo the Fool while you taking advantage of my kindness.
So I think the difference is, and let's go to the phones. I think there's a difference, and we agree with each other, but I think there's a difference in what we're saying. What I'm saying is a person should be who they are, regardless of how somebody reciprocates. Like, if that's what you want to do and that's your personality, then you should do that. Like, you can't limit yourself. Like, I treat people how I treat people, and I treat people how I want to be treated. Now, if somebody doesn't treat me back the same way, it doesn't mean I'm still not going to treat them that way, because that's just how I am. But it's only going to be for a limited amount of time, is what I'm saying. I'm not going to all of a sudden cut off what I do for people because they're not giving. I'm just going to say, okay, this is not the relationship for me, and move on, because you're never going to be able to say, I didn't do something that was my personality. That's all I'm saying.
And let's just be real, and then we got to go to break. Let's just be real. Most times, it's a woman who gets taken advantage of because we're naturally the nurturers. We're naturally the domesticated ones. They're naturally wanting to take care of you. And a lot of men will stay in those relationships knowing that they're not going to wife the girl, taking advantage of everything she is, the essence of a woman, knowing damn well you're never going to wife her. And that's why you need to talk to the men and not be talking to me. Talk to the men about how they need to. Don't do a Derek Jackson on me.
Nina, I would be willing to bet that there are just as many men who have been taken advantage of by women out there as there are women that have been taken advantage by men. It's a different taken advantage of. They do it differently. There's a lot of men who put out a lot of paper on women only to turn around and be like, why did I do that for that woman? And they feel very taken advantage of. So it's just different. It's not one-sided. You know, I mentioned to you earlier about the love languages thing. Yeah. I think it's just certain people, you know, which is very important. And everybody listening, if you don't know your love language, I really would encourage you to go online to the 5 love languages, the 5 or 7, anyway, the love languages.
5.
Take the test and see what your love languages are. Because some people's love language is giving. Some people's love language is gifts. Some people's love language is words of affirmation. So certain people may need certain things, but that's important to know, because if you're with somebody who doesn't appreciate your love language, you could feel empty for a very long time, and it doesn't matter how many times you date. You got to find that right person. But I do agree with what he's saying, is that I think there is a certain level of knowing someone's character as if that's the person you want or not. You know what I mean? So for me, for instance, I'm the type of guy that when I meet you and I walk into your house, I'm looking at what can I help with. You know what I mean? So if I'm dating you and we've been dating for a minute, I hate walking in a woman's house and seeing the cable TV wires hanging from the back of her TV and the box over here and the TV hung up or sitting on the counter, like, or you know, curtains that are crooked or something hanging out the ceiling. I'm going to get up there and fix it for you, because that's the type of person I am. I'm not going to not fix it because I'm not married to you. Like, I'm going to do what I do regardless of whatever we are.
And that's great. And you're, like I said, you're honestly a special type of dude. And I wish there were more like you. But we've both been married. We've both been married twice, right? And we know that the level of what you bring to the table as a girlfriend or boyfriend is nothing like the commitment, the sacrifice, the level of freak that you bring to the table once you're married. And it should be like that. It's designed to be like that. Okay. You're not going to get all of me sexually, financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually as a girlfriend that you're going to get from me as a wife. Like, My whole job is to take it to 10 levels higher, because that's what being a wife and having that special commitment is for. Forever is a long ass time. I better turn up and make it worth the while.
Part of my experience in dating is I think that's what people just naturally do, right? So I think part of what some people think is like the engagement period is that period where you start acting like wifey material, but then you can't stop after the engagement. So I guess
you are who you are. Like,
right.
You can't hide. A good person, you're going to know that they're a good person. And yes, the specifics of them, the character, that should be evident. The personality and the quirks of that person and things they like to do, that's the details that you will learn in a relationship. But I don't need to show you everything I got for you to know that I'm a good person. You should be able to tell just by the way I carry myself, how I speak of my friends, what my friends say about me.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know DJ Iron's in the studio. I haven't known him for a long time, but I know he's a solid dude. I've never hung out with him outside of, being on the show, but he's shown me enough in how he carries himself at the radio station to know that Iron is solid. So that's my point. Iron's never cooked for me. Iron's never rubbed my feet, but I know that he would take care of a woman when he's with them because he's a solid dude, and that's what I'm trying to explain.
I don't know. I've just seen it that basically I think a lot of people have an expectation of what a wife or a husband is, and then when they get married and that expectation isn't met, there's like this disappointment and there's this resentment, and I think you have to really show what it is that you do and who you are, because...
Or maybe that's your fault for not asking the right questions and digging a little deeper because you expected them to just show you. Then that's on you. You got to dig deeper. You got to ask the questions that are important to you. You need to, really have those conversations. Is it really someone's fault because you expected them to just show you, and then when you didn't get what you needed, now you're mad about it?
I'll give you an example, right? So, real quick. So if I'm a person that loves food and I love for my woman to cook for me, I can tell you I expect my woman to cook 3 meals a week out of 7, right? As a potential wife, you could say, oh, no problem. But if you don't like to cook, you're still going to do it. You're just not going to put the same effort into it as a person that loves to cook. You know how people say, that's cook with love? And it's a difference. People that don't like to cook, when they cook, you could taste it. Come on, you can taste it. Iron, am I lying, Iron? A person that doesn't like to cook, the food is not the same. So you just doing it because I want to do it is not what I want. So I need to see what it is, who you are, and I want to fall in love with that side of you so I can marry you. So I don't want you holding back. I want to know what it is in every aspect.
It's actions plus communication. If she doesn't, there's a lot of dope women who can cook their butt off who might not have as much time because they're also working women with children. So that's a conversation. That's like, babe, do you like to cook? Do you enjoy cooking? Like, what's your favorite thing to cook? If you cooked every day for me as your husband, would you be resentful? Would you feel like it's an obligation? There's a lot, like, if you're just waiting for her to be that wife, knowing she's got a whole job and she may or may not have children, then you're going to miss out on a lot of dope women. Be a grown-ass man and have a conversation with women to really get to know them. You will get so much farther.
I think every man has had conversations, but then when it comes down to it, when the women get the ring, boy, they be getting, like, you never see that scarf in bed before they get married, but after you get married, that scarf is in bed every night. You never see them bloomer underwears until you get married, but after you get married, them bloomers in bed every night. There's a lot that changes when y'all get the ring. Come on, Nina Brown.
And when we were dating you had a head full of hair. Now you're missing hair on the top. Like, life changes.
Oh, Lord. See how she tried it? She tried it.
The belly when I was dating you. Now that I'm married to you, you got a huge belly. Like, bro, come on.
I'm not going to let you win that one, but that's all good.